my Bomb Beauties. So today I wanted to do a review on a foundation that I've been wearing for a long time. It's been like a month and it's starting to kind of be like a month and a half. It's starting to roll into like the second month of me wearing this and I still haven't done a review. So I wanted to do a review for you guys today, and this is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, which you can find at any drugstore. It's been out for like 3 or 4 months now, so it's semi-new, and they also have some pretty cool stuff like a setting powder and even a setting spray, which I'm super excited to try out, and when I try it out I'll let you know. But all I've tried out so far from that collection is the L'Oreal the Infallible Pro Matte 24-hour foundation, which looks like this. So it is in a squeezy tube, to answer your first question probably. This is what it says and claims before I get started with what I think. It says it's a 24-hour foundation, it's a Demi matte finish, it's air light, it's oil free. It says it's never dull and never flat, which I agree. I mean, it's not dull, it's not flat. I feel like it's not a Demi matte. I feel like it's more of a matte foundation. I have to make sure to moisturize well or else I will get dry. But if you have oily skin and you haven't tried this foundation out, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what foundation you have on your face right now, but you need to wash it off and you need to go to the store and you need to buy this one. Because this stays matte all day long. It doesn't oxidize on your skin and it does last 24 hours. So if you work all day, if you just need a foundation to last because you don't want to be doing your makeup every single hour, then this is a good foundation as well for you. L'Oreal is legendary for their infallible products because they really do last a long time. They do a really good job with the longevity of their products and with doing what they say that they're going to do. And I feel like this one definitely does that. Now this one does claim to be a medium coverage and it tends to be an air-light texture. I think for most people that just slab on their makeup and try to do it fast, it's going to be more of a fullish coverage foundation. But I don't feel like it feels super heavy, but it doesn't feel like air light. Like when you first apply it, I feel like you can definitely feel it, but after that you don't really feel it on your face, if that makes sense. So at first it feels a little heavy and you're kind of like, whoa, I don't know if maybe I'm just applying too much or not, but afterwards you don't really feel it. It's like, it feels like your skin on your face. Like you'll touch it and be like, okay. Second thing that I absolutely love about this foundation is the fact that foundation doesn't transfer onto clothing or onto other people's clothing. Every time I have on my CoverGirl foundation, I hug my husband and it comes off on his shirt and I'm like, ugh. He gets mad at me and I'm like, oh sorry, you know, run away. But this foundation, it doesn't budge, so I can hug him and it's not going to come off on his shirt, especially when he's wearing a white nice shirt. You want to make sure that you're careful, but I feel like this one does a really good job of not transferring from your face to your clothing, which I really like about that. Like when you put it on, it pretty much stays put, and it stays put exactly the way you put it on for 24 hours. So for 24 hours it's going to look exactly the way that you had first applied it, which I really like because sometimes it kind of thins out to where you start seeing your skin through it. It's not that way with this foundation. So I was really excited and really impressed with how good quality this is, especially for something that's in the drugstore. I feel like when I use the Revlon Color Stay, that would even transfer onto clothing, but this one, it doesn't budge at all. So with that, I definitely recommend when you're applying this to apply it section by section so that it's easy to blend, because when it does set and it doesn't budge. So you do have some time to blend it out, and if you're quick you can do your whole face like that. But I personally just found that I like it better because then I can concentrate and make sure that I don't apply way too much on a spot, because it's so easy to think you can apply, you know, 2 pumps on a regular foundation and you need 2 pumps of this. It's not the case at all. You need a lot less because it's so full of the coverage. It spreads really easy, but when it sets, it sets. So you have to, I don't know, I feel like doing it section by section is probably the best way to apply this. My favorite brush to use, you can use your hands. What I like to do is kind of spread it a little bit with my hands and then use this brush. This is a brush from BH Cosmetics. You can see it's kind of has that slanted, it's stiff, and it's a pretty dense brush. And it is a dual fiber brush, and that's how I like to blend out my foundation, and these two together I feel like just give you the flawless finish. Oh, Real Techniques sponge. I use that with this foundation, and I feel like it's just, I don't like it. I don't like it with this foundation because I feel like it can make the foundation look cakey, like around these areas. I feel like it just makes it look cakey. So I've kind of been staying away from there. I tried to experiment with it more. I guess if you first blend it out a little bit and put a tiny bit and then use your beauty sponge, it's good. But as far as the color selections are pretty good. I mean, at the Walmart I went to, the display wasn't that big, but I've seen in other Walmarts the display has been a lot bigger and they've been a lot better. The color that I have is 106 Sun Beige, which I went with 106 Sun Beige because I know L'Oreal, in the L'Oreal True Match, I'm Sun Beige as well, W6, and it matched me perfectly. So, I don't know if all the colors are like that, but that's a good way to start if you know what color you are or what shade you are in L'Oreal True Match. Sorry if you hear my son, like, making bubbles down here. He's literally, like, spitting and making bubbles with his mouth. Can you stop that? But that's a good way to start, is by, if you know your shade in the L'Oreal True Match, you can probably find your shade a lot easier on this, because I think the names might be the same because it's L'Oreal, the same brand. So try that. But one of the big selling points for this particular foundation is, because I'm olive skin and I have a very yellow undertone, is the fact that they do such a good job with their shades as far as undertone. In CoverGirl and even in the L'Oreal True Match, I feel like it's hard for me to find my undertone because either it's too orange or it's too pink. Like in CoverGirl, their foundations tend to run pink, so I'm kind of like iffy finding my foundation there. And on True Match, they tend to run a little bit orange. Like the W6, it's a little bit orange and I feel like it doesn't fit me as well. But this one, it's yellow. It has that yellow undertone. For those of you that find it very difficult to find a foundation with a yellow undertone that will match you perfectly, which is definitely me, this foundation does a really good job with it. And it's definitely for sure yellow and it matches me perfectly, I feel like. So I love that about it, because I struggle so much with finding a foundation that has the perfect shade, the perfect undertone to it, the perfect, you know, to match my shade. I always had such a struggle with that, and you might be able to relate to me in that way. And I feel like this one, I mean, this is a good foundation to try if you have trouble, if you struggle with trying to find your undertone, maybe something's a little too orange or pink in the drugstore. This is a good line to try out. So I have tried this out on my mom, who is obviously older than me, and I feel like this foundation looked really beautiful on her skin as well. So if you're kind of wondering if this is something that's only for young girls, it's not. It's something that you can definitely try if you have a more mature skin. This is a good foundation to try as well, because it has pretty good coverage, and I know on her skin, her under eye circles aren't as bad as mine, but it definitely covered. Like, she didn't have to use as much concealer as, for example, I would have to, which personally, this one does a pretty good job of covering my under eye circles, but mine are a lot bigger and I look tired because I have an infant all the time. Anyways, I was really impressed with this foundation. I hope this review encouraged you guys to kind of check it out and try it out. I'm sorry if it's kind of all over the place and blah blah blah. It's hard for me to concentrate when you have a little small child over here like bubbling out of his mouth and like making noise that I'm very conscious of, that he's making noise. Don't worry, I noticed that he's making noise, but there's really nothing I can do about it. Either I film a video today or I don't film a video, and I figured you guys probably think my kids are cute anyways, so might as well just let him do his thing and I'll do my thing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope it helped you guys out. If you've tried the setting spray or the powder, the setting powder, let me know down below. Tell me what you think about it, because I've been wanting to try the setting spray for sure, and even the powder. Because this foundation, I've noticed that it has so much coverage. You don't want to have a powder that has something that's light and that sets it, which in my case, since I have normal to semi-dry skin, I don't even set it. It doesn't even really need to be set with anything, because it's pretty, like, it turns into just this matte. Like, you don't have a problem. I didn't have a problem with it being oily. I'll even go outside in the hot sun and will work with this, and it won't get oily. I won't even get sweaty or damp on my face. You know, sometimes you go outside, you start getting damp on your face from your foundation. It's like melting off. This foundation doesn't do that, so it's pretty awesome, especially for Arizona weather, because it gets freaking hot here, and it's really good that it doesn't do that. So there's another little sneak pointer I just snuck in there. Yeah, beauty does come from within, so make sure you let yours shine today, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.